Does the Khan family have a major secret that Mama Muniba is guarding? And maybe Kamala Khan already knows it or thinks she knows it. And what kind of impact is this family secret going to have on the MCU moving forward? We're going to get into it, but first, okay, seriously, if you've not watched the first episode of Ms. Marvel, there are major spoiler warnings here. But as long as you know that and you want to proceed, great. Welcome back to the Mama Saga, where this Marvel-loving mama is a mother by day, but breaks down comic book sagas, movies, and shows like Ms. Marvel by night. So if you've watched the first episode by now, you must be wondering, who is Nani? Well, Nani is another word for grandmother, and it's pretty clear early on that she's a relative who's been sending boxes of her personal effects to the Khan family from overseas, from Pakistan itself, I believe. Nani's most recent mail-in submission includes a large, gorgeous bangle bracelet that Kamala has her eye on. I mean, at first she declares the contents of the box junk, saying, "Why does she have to send all this junk?" To which her mother replies, "Well, I'd like to tell you that it's because my mother is growing old, but she's always been this way. She doesn't want to die before passing on all her junk to us." But then Kamala sees the bracelet and says, "This is so cool. Is this Nani's?" And it's at that moment that Muniba's eyes, to me, grow a bit dark, and then she comes over, grabs the bangle bracelet, throws it in the box, and says, "That is junk." Then she has Amir, Kamala's brother, take the box to the attic. Now, if you ask me, the Khan family secret involves the bangle, which may very well be a negaband, which is hugely important. It's a hugely important artifact crossing over from the Marvel comic book saga to the MCU. If I'm right about this and the bangle is a negaband, well, that explains a lot, but it's kind of part of the equation and not all of it. So first up, what are the negabands? Well, they are Kree artifacts, really Kree-made, and in the Marvel comic book saga overall, there are actually several pairs of them, not just one pair or one bangle-looking bracelet. It turns out several different Marvel superhumans and superheroes came to own them, and I've covered all of the different powers that negabands can bestow upon the wearer in a recent video of mine entitled Negabands: Why does Ms. Marvel have them? That's a far deeper dive on the powers and properties of negabands. So after you're done watching this video, you'll want to watch that video next. Suffice it to say, they are powerful, whether you have a pair of them or a single one, and the fact that one comes into Kamala Khan's possession, leading her to become Ms. Marvel, is super important. Kamala is going to be crazy powerful in the MCU, and she will, as she masters her powers and becomes more experienced overall, well, she will be able to contend with some of the most powerful big bads ever, including the big bad of Phase 4 of the MCU, Kang the Conqueror himself. I mean it, but here's the thing. Nani might be part Kree. Now, only time will tell, but I do think that when Muniba keeps referring to Kamala having her head in the clouds, she's also referred to her mother that way too, meaning Nani. At the end of episode 1, when Kamala's returned from AvengerCon and she climbs up through the window to get into her bedroom, Muniba's there waiting for her. She's busted, and of course, Muniba accuses Kamala of being rebellious, and of course, she denies this. Muniba then explains that she's trying to save Kamala from herself, adding, "I've seen what happens when people get obsessed with their fantasies." To which Kamala then retorts, "I know you're just trying to tell me some story about Nani." And then Muniba snaps, "So you know what I was going to say to you, and you knew it would betray me, and you still went and did it anyway." This tells me that Kamala understands a little bit about her grandmother, her Nani, but maybe not enough. This could be a misdirect where Kamala thinks she knows the whole story, but she doesn't. I think her mother Muniba might be hiding either the stone cold truth about Nani being Kree or part Kree, Or Muneeba thinks her own mother was just some goofy daydreamer, just like how she sees her daughter currently. And meanwhile, things that her mother attempted to share with her or inform her about, well, perhaps Muneeba just couldn't accept and dismissed it as her mother just being a weirdo. It's only episode 1. We'll see where all this goes soon enough. Remember, in the first Captain Marvel movie, it turned out that Dr. Wendy Lawson was actually a member of the Kree race, and her real name was Mar-Vell. Kree aren't just blue-skinned, you know. They can also be white-skinned and black-skinned, too. But it was a surprise all the same to Captain Marvel, and Miss Marvel or Kamala Khan may be in for a sort of gotcha, I'm a Kree sort of moment further on in the 6-part Miss Marvel, Disney Plus series. Now, in my recent video, they changed Miss Marvel's powers. Kevin Feige explains why. I discussed the fact that Miss Marvel's origin story was being altered in the Disney Plus miniseries from her Inhumans-related one in her comic book saga to a very different type of origin. So make sure you check that video out also after you're done watching this one. You may as well subscribe to it. I'm an experienced YouTuber. This isn't my only channel, and I'm going to be giving this channel a whole lot of love from now on. So here's the deal. Between the possible Kree blood connection that may be what it takes for Kamala to unlock her powers using the Negaband, to the fact that a huge big bad is coming in the form of Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and that big bad may very well be killing off Hank Pym and seriously injuring Ant-Man himself, I'm thinking that something that powerful, that epic, is going to call for some Avenger-level backup, one that would include superhumans like Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, if not Monica Rambeau, too, after the events of the Marvel movie wraps up. When you listen to Kevin Feige talk about how powerful Kamala Khan is and the impact she's supposed to have in the MCU, to the point where they had to reimagine her origin story to sync up with everything else that's already transpired to date, well, I'm kind of thinking Kamala Khan isn't just going to go for a joyride type experience in the Marvels with her hero Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau to boot, and then, peace out, Kamala. Everyone will take it from here now that Kang's around. Nope, I do not think that at all. More videos are going to drop on my channel unpacking my theories, tying in some really important Easter eggs, and reviewing more of the Miss Marvel series as episodes continue to drop. In the meantime, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to the Mama Saga for more comic book saga breakdowns, salty mama style. Thanks for watching. Take care.